Hello, my name is Heidi Abed, and today I'm going over the elements of environmental management for the Red Sea Great Fringing Reef. The Egyptian government has recently committed to establishing a marine protected area, MPA, along its entire Red Sea coast. There are clearly different stakeholders in this, including maritime trade, which because the Suez Canal connects the Mediterranean to the Red Sea up in the north, and the Gulf of Aden leads to the Arabian Sea and Indian Ocean in the south. This is a very busy uh, corridor, if you will, for maritime trade. The tourism industry is another stakeholder. The biodiversity and aesthetic of the sea is a major attraction for tourism, and there'll need to be sustainable use in order to preserve this allure. Municipalities, local communities are a stakeholder as well. We need to sustainably manage the waste discharge, the sewage runoff, any need for desalination and power plants. Of course, the beautiful coast and its resources is appealing for its residents, and they'll need to preserve it in the long run. Fishing, fish farming, and aquaculture. Sustainable methods will protect the future needs in this regard. They can prevent long-term economic loss of overfishing and habitat destruction by properly managing what they have. Conservation groups and scientists are another stakeholder in the area. As there are current MPAs, they vary in classification, enforcement, and they are not currently integrated with one another. Now, the vision is a sustainably managed marine protection area to support the rich biodiversity of the northern Red Sea, serving as a resilient coral reef refuge against the effects of climate change. The overarching goal at this point is to determine the parameters of the MPA. We'll need to define the conservation focus, the level of protection, permanence of protection, constancy of protection, and the scale of protection. Now, the conservation focus. Here, the objective is to conserve the natural heritage of this protected area. This includes its biodiversity, its ecological and physical processes, and the ecological services, human uses, and values. The level of protection. The objective here is to decide what level of protection will apply to the entire MPA. Will it all be the same level, or will it be different management zones? There are different levels, including uniform multiple use, zoned multiple use with no-take areas, areas that are just no-take, areas that are just no impact, and even areas that are no access allowed. Currently, they are mainly zoned multiple use, including with no-take areas. There are some national parks right now included in some of the already active MPAs. So being that they currently have different levels of protection, most likely we're going to need to see different management zones to keep the other ones as they are, at least, to not drop their level of protection, even if some areas are determined to need a little bit more leeway for multiple use. Now, the permanence of protection. The objective here is to provide permanent protection to the area for future generations. The constancy of protection. The objective here is to provide constant year-round protection to the area. It's not a matter of seasonal use for one specific species, but an entire ecosystem. So it is to be year-round. Now, the scale of protection. The objective here is to decide the ecological scale and protection to the entire MPA, or again, to different management zones. Some areas may apply to the entire ecosystem, while others just on the focal resource of the coral reef.